Are we filming? Hey. Hey treasures, welcome back to my channel. So last week I filmed a video and it was like 34 minutes long and I spent like an hour editing, okay? Just editing this video for you guys. It was a get ready with me and my hair looks weird. Anyways, it was a get ready with me and it went to complete shit. For some reason, YouTube didn't want to upload it and I had tried uploading it like 4 times and it still right now says waiting. I don't know why, but I do want to continue to tell that story that I was telling on that video because I want to have a debate. I want to know if I'm the weird one. I've been told that my reaction to this story is something that like most people wouldn't do, and I want to know if that's true. So if you want to learn about why people think that I'm the weird one, then let's carry on with the story. So this happened about 2 summers ago, and at this point in time my family was having these like gatherings at a park. Now we were so super like COVID conscious and we weren't really like breaking the rules that often, but at this point in time it was kind of getting more free. So we were like, okay, we can get together because my family and I are like pretty close, and so we were like, yeah, the government says it's okay to like be with each other and like have like 10 people, then let's do that before they change their minds type thing. And so my brother and I ended up going to this family event. This was like the second one of the summer. And so we ended up going with his girlfriend. And so when we get there, you know, we're like saying hi to like all of our cousins and stuff like that. Now, something to know about me is that my real family, like my blood family, lives in the US. And so I don't even know some of them. Honestly, I haven't even met like any of them in person. So the family that I'm talking about is family that I like grew up with. Like since I was like a baby, I grew up with these people. So like they're like my family, you know? And so there is this guy there and he is my cousin, but he doesn't go to like all the family events and stuff. So no one expected him to be there, you know? He didn't go there all the time, you know? So I knew who he was, but we like don't really talk. And honestly, I don't even know if homeboy knew my name because that's how much he's like not there. And so he ended up bringing his friend, and for the sake of this story, we're going to call him Ferguson. Don't ask me where I got that name, but we're going to go with Ferguson. So he introduced me to Ferguson, and I'm like, hey, hi, what's up? Like, how are you? And Ferguson is like looking at me, and he has like this like glint in his eye. Like that's the only way I can describe it. And I'm sure with that quote alone, you can tell that I read a lot. But anyways, he had this glint in his eye, and I swear there was like a sparkle. And so from what I saw in his eyes, I knew that he was going to talk to me at the end of this day because I just saw it in his eyes, you know? You know, everyone's like talking, everyone is playing games and stuff like that. And so you're here for like several hours, honestly. And at one point I was sitting down on a chair and I had my cousin's daughter with me. At the time, she was about 2 years old. And so I had my cousin's daughter with me. And as you can tell, like I have a bigger chest, and for some reason babies love to fall asleep on me. So, you know, she's sitting on me, whatever, and she's falling asleep, and so I'm like rocking the baby like back and forth like on me. And this is whenever Ferguson decides to talk to me. And so my cousin is like, oh, do you want me to take her? And I was like, oh god, no, like this is my baby right now, like she's staying with me. And so Ferguson is talking to me, and it was the weirdest thing ever where like me and Ferguson were talking, and like I knew things about him already. Like I don't know what happened, but it was like something just came into my mind and I'm like, this is him. Like this is the type of person that he is. And I would tell him what came to my head, and he's like, yeah, you're right. And like it was the weirdest thing. Now, Ferguson was absolutely not my type. In fact, he was the complete opposite of my type. Like the absolute like everything I did not like rolled into one. And it just so happened like I had this connection with this guy, and he was telling me about myself too. Like he was going like in depth. I was like, you're the type of girl that's like this and that, and like to a T, like it was pretty much me. And I was telling him the same thing about him, and we had never met each other before. So as me and him are chit-chatting and going back and forth and stuff like that, and the baby's like asleep on me, I just see like in the corner of my eye, like my cousins like slowly like dispersing and getting like further and further away from us to like give us privacy. And I was just like, oh god, like I'm gonna hear about this later. And so him and I keep talking, and then we start like winding down, and you know, we're going to start to leave. So we get to leave and stuff like that, and you know, Ferguson asks for my number and I give it to him. And you know, I could see how you would say this, like, why would you give him your number if he's not your type? But I was intrigued, like I can't even lie, like I was intrigued. And yes, he wasn't my type, and yes, I didn't like, you know, the outer shell, but I was intrigued because I had never like met someone and felt like I've known them before. Like it was weird. So I give him my number, and so by the time I get home, it happens to be around like 9 o'clock. And so I'm telling my mom about like, you know, our family gathering and how I met this guy and blah, blah, blah. And in the midst of me telling my mom about like what had happened, I get a text from Ferguson, and shortly after he ends up calling me on the phone, and we start talking on the phone. Y'all, when I say that we were talking on the phone, I mean for like 9 hours. Like we're on the freaking phone till like 7 a.m. in the morning. Like we're on the phone. Like it was ridiculous. Okay, so me and him are talking on the phone, whatever, and like it's a good conversation, and like, you know, it's intriguing, blah, blah, blah. Again, you know, I'm finding myself being like, okay, I like, you know, our conversation, obviously, like I'm on the phone for 9 hours, I like our conversation and everything like that, but then I'm just like, he's not your type. I'm liking this conversation, yeah, like this is good, we get along well, he's not your type. And I just couldn't stop thinking like he's not my type. Like I don't want to lead him on, of course, you know, but like he's just so not my type, and I just could not get over it. And so I ended up hanging up eventually, whatever. It was like 7 in the morning. And so whenever he woke up, whatever, he ended up texting me. And when I woke up, obviously we're texting. And at this point in time, like I was talking to like 2 other guys. So I literally at one point, I had to figure out how to finesse like, this guy want to talk to me on the phone, this guy want to talk to me on the phone, this guy want to talk to me on the phone. And I was like, okay, I had to like give them like certain hours. And I felt like the biggest time, like when I felt like I was like a pimp, and I was like, okay girl, like this is like it should be. No, I'm joking. But anyways, so at one point, me and Ferguson are speaking, and I tell him that like the type of girl that I am, it was like if I was going to hang out with my boyfriend or something like that, and like he knows that I love chocolate, and like one day whenever he's coming over to see me, like he gets me chocolate, like that would make me the happiest person in the world. He's like completely shocked by that. And I was like, what type of girls do you know? Like I don't need someone to buy me the world. I just need someone, I'm a good part of theirs. I don't need someone to like be buying me all these extravagant things. Like I don't care about that shit. Like I just want you to show me a little stuff matters. That's all I want to say. So, you know, I'm telling him this, and he's just like, oh my god, like where have you been all my life? And at that point I was like, okay, I should probably like tell him like what's up with how I'm feeling and everything like that. So I would say we ended up talking on the phone again, and he asks me to go out, and I'm like, okay. And I bring that forward to my mom that he wants to go out with me, and my mom's like, yeah, go. And I was like, hey mom, but he is like this type of person, and I don't like the way that he dresses and stuff like that. And like I'm not picky with how someone dresses, but I do think like how you dress is a way for how people are going to portray you, okay? And so I didn't like the way that I knew he was going to be portrayed, because that's how I portrayed him when I met him. So, and I don't like to be seen with people like that. So I was telling my mom this and stuff like that, and I was like, I don't think I should go. Like, I just don't think, like, safety-wise, like, that's, like, a good thing. I don't know, maybe I'm being dramatic, but my mom completely understood where I was coming from. And so she's like, okay, well, why don't you tell him to, like, not wear certain items so, like, you feel comfortable. And I was like, well, how am I going to tell someone that like I just met? How am I going to tell someone that I just met that I need you to change your outfit, you know? And she was like, okay, let me do it. So I'm like, here, take my phone, and I'm putting him on silent because I do not want to be cussed out. Because to be honest with you, like if someone I had just met and like I asked them out, I mean, I would never ask out a guy, but like whatever, we were about to hang out, and I was like, okay, I need you, like, he's telling me that I need you to, like, change your clothes, like, you dress too slutty or something like that, I would be like, bye. I would not stand for that. So I can completely understand if someone did the same thing to me, because like, who the hell are you to tell me what to do? So my mom tells him whatever in like her nice way, because I guess I don't know how to be nice. And so he ends up texting me back. I end up looking at my phone like literally like half an hour later, because I'm like too like scared to look at it, because like who wants to be cussed out, you know? And he's just like, yeah, okay, like that's perfectly fine. I'm like, yeah, I'll look whatever you want. And I was like, huh, like, and here's the thing, debate comes in. I thought that it was sweet at first. Like, it was the first thing that I thought of. I was like, oh, wow, like, you know, he like really likes me. Like, he's going to like do anything to make me feel comfortable. But then, you know, this other side of me like crept in, and I would say the bitchier side of me crept in. Okay, so obviously I've changed. For some reason, like, my camera's not filming properly, so I'm just going to like continue the rest of the story. So here's where the bitchy side comes in, where I was like, okay, if someone changed for me so quickly after just knowing me, that's weird, you know? I would never do that. So the type of man that I would want would be someone that's confident and is like, hold up, I don't know you like that. You should accept me how I am now, because that's how you met me. So let me know what you guys think. This is what my debate is about. And just to, you know, give this story like an epilogue and fully end this story, I never ended up talking to him again, because he started to get really, really weird. And when I didn't hang out with him that one time when he asked, he kept asking me. And we'd be talking on the phone, and I would tell him, like, I'm waiting on my schedule to come in. And he would literally just be like, when we hang out, the entire phone call. And I'm like, I'm sorry, am I gonna pull this out of my ass? Am I putting my schedule out of the ass? Do I make my schedule? No, like, stop asking me. And he was like, oh, I'm sorry, I'll stop asking when I get what I want. And no, we're not doing any of that manipulation shit here. Never fucking happening. So I just was like, I have to go. Hung up the phone. And then he ended up telling my cousin, like, that I wasn't talking to him, which I just wasn't talking to him as often. And I was like, wow, what a little bitch. And so, yeah, I told my cousin, yeah, I'm not interested. And my cousin's like, okay, take care. So I guess my cousin was mad at me. I don't really know. But yeah, that's the end of that story. Thank you guys so much for watching. And please excuse this last little bit. I just honestly needed to finish the story. And I was not about to set everything up again, because that's crazy talk. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.